My first quote-unquote failure was a company called, commercial failure, significant commercial failure, was a company called Go Corporation, which was the precursor to pen computing in the United States. It was ahead of the Palm Pilot and what we then saw with Palm and Handspring, who are also good friends of mine, Don and Jeff. But we went a different direction. We were earlier, and we were trying to build a very robust Windows-killing operating system that was going to be pen-initiated and pen-navigated. It was very ambitious. It was a Kleiner Perkins investment way before I was a partner at Kleiner Perkins. I was the CFO of this company, the acting COO of this company. And it was some of the best and brightest in Silicon Valley. Got a tremendous amount of press, a lot of capital for those days. And we went out and in 4 short years failed. The company was sold sideways to AT&T. Nobody made any money. The product was never really came to market. And eventually, Palm got it right. What's interesting about that quote-unquote failure is I've never felt the slightest remorse or disappointment about it. That company turned out to be, the management team of that company turned out to be the pioneers of the internet. It was an incredible great group of people. The esprit de corps and the teamwork and the excellence with which we executed against a bad plan and bad technology was really admirable. We learned a ton. And people like Bill Campbell went off to run Intuit, later to become a very important part of the resurrection of Apple with Steve Jobs at the board level and an important factor in the creation of Google. Mike Homer went off to found Netscape. Stratton Sklavos went off to do VeriSign. Robert Carr went off to do Autodesk. Jerry Kaplan, one of the founders, went off to do OnSale, which was a precursor to eBay. I went off to do LucasArts Entertainment, WebTV, and TiVo. If you look at what came from the seeds of that failure, it was success after success. And not only that, we created a new industry. Now let me tell you about another failure, one where the investors made money. This was a company called Crystal Dynamics. I had come out of LucasArts Entertainment prematurely, in large part because George had decided we were so successful that he wasn't going to spin us out. And I was very unhappy with that decision. I loved my company. I loved our products. We were on a great roll, and I felt like this would be a wonderful standalone public company. We had big plans, and George pulled us back so he could make the next set of movies. He used us as a financial vehicle for the next set of movies, the prequels. When he did that, I left. And I left to join a Kleiner Perkins startup called Crystal Dynamics, which was in the game space. Very similar at the face of it to what I'd been doing at LucasArts Entertainment. Within a year, I had lost all of my passion for what I was doing. The company was struggling to get right-sized and to set the priorities it needed to for the limited resources and the slow trajectory of the marketplace. And I had no stomach for it. I didn't care about the products we were creating. They were very different than LucasArts products when you finally dug into them. They were toys versus storytelling. It was a very different set of ambitions. It was about building things for the game consoles versus starting to try to build things for interactive media. It was a very different sensibility. And by the end of it, I had no muse. I couldn't get myself up in the morning to make the hard decisions because I had no passion for what I was doing. That company was sold. People made money. I left within 1 year to become what became called a virtual CEO. I sort of invented that on the fly. I did not know what I was going to do. I just knew I wasn't going to do that. That was a true failure.